Good day to you, gentle person. Thank you for joining me as we look at Detritus, or Detritus as some people might pronounce it. It's an interesting word, a difficult one to pronounce. But this is a game that I am very, very intrigued by, as I always say, but I mean, I'm very excited by it. I tend to get excited by these games that I showcase. This is a game by a developer, Radiosity. We've already looked at one of their other games quite recently, Lunium, and you guys seem to enjoy that. So I'm very interested in showing you this game as well. It is interactive friction, and it is made in the Twine engine. And some people are very, very impressive at utilizing the Twine engine in very effective ways. And Radiosity here seems to be one of those masters who does good things with it. And this game is somewhat award-winning, as was the previous game, in sort of interactive fiction, competitions or gatherings. So yeah, this looks like an interesting one to get into and have a look at. And it is a sci-fi game. We are on a spaceship. The spaceship has suffered some kind of disaster that we now need to deal with, and that's as far as I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let the game do the rest of its talking as we play a little bit of the gameplay, and I just show off some of the interesting mechanics that Radiosity has put into the game here. So let us jump in and start. I have just loaded this up in Chrome. I've tried it in Fireworks, works absolutely fine. Twine is a very, very stable, solid engine, so it probably works on most browsers. So yeah, I clicked Run Game, and this is the page that we are presented with. So let's continue from here. Emergency Distress Responder, Cargo Ship Control 5, Catastrophic, I just read that automatically as Control, CTRL 5, Catastrophic Hull Failure, No Survivors. So let us continue. We have a how to play button that just tells us about sort of various gameplay mechanics, but we'll manage those just fine. And then there is a settings button in the top left here that allows us to change various options, and there's also a guide and walkthrough there. It's some quite loud music for me. Hopefully it doesn't come through too loudly for you guys, but it's good music. Nevertheless, let us click begin and we will get past it. We can choose the game difficulty. We have sort of very, very easy, basically just the story. We have some very, very basic survival mechanics. Under easy, we have normal, which is what I'm going to play, which is just the designed experience, as it were. That's why I like to select normal. And then we have survival, which is the hard one. It claims to still be entirely fair, but let's stick to normal. Let's just see how the gameplay goes with that. And let's click begin. They say that your entire life flashes before your eyes just before you die. Then, nothing. Well, imagine that, but in reverse. One moment I didn't exist, the next, existence spat me back out again. Welcome back, Comms Officer Wilson. I'm still trying to make sense of that sudden stroboscope of memories that flash like 1,000 burning sparks behind my eyes. My eyelids feel glued shut. I open them like two old wooden shutters, and light sears in through these broken windows. I have to squint to see anything at all. A warped, twisted face is staring at me from just centimeters away. The more I look, the more the face twists and contorts, until I realize it's my own face reflected in a curved glass screen right in front of me. What the I'm trapped, standing upright inside some kind of pod. A smooth glass panel holds me tight in this coffin-like prison. I look down. I can't move my arms at all, but a small control panel rests just within reach. I'm starting to panic. I can't move and I don't remember how I got here. My heart rate is beating out a rhythm like a glitching drum solo, and my panting breath is clouding up the glass screen. So I can call out for help, or I can tap the control panel. Let's try calling out for help. I shout at the top of my voice. It's deafening in the confines of this claustrophobic space, but I'm not sure how to soundproof the glasses. There's no one here to save me. Tap the control panel. I tap the button and the glass panel suddenly slides open. The pod belches me out into a cold, dark space. My arms and legs don't seem to be working, and I fall helplessly to the ground. Except for some reason, gravity has taken some time off, and I just float clumsily until I find a metal disc to cling to. I look around. This looks familiar. I think I'm in the fabrication room. I must still be on the ship, but the gravity wells aren't working for some reason. And if I've just come out of the fabrication pod, that means... I've been reprinted. New memory backup mode. Resources have been depleted. A mechanical voice comes from somewhere nearby. That doesn't sound like Gale. I'm thinking the AI has shut down and we're on some kind of emergency system. This just gets better and better. Look around. The lights flicker on above me, illuminating a bare utilitarian room around 5 meters square. The dim light reflects off cold, slate-grey metallic walls. The air is still and silent. I'm trying to rack my brain as to what might have happened. Something bad. Something really bad if the emergency protocol has kicked in. There's only space for one backup. I guess I must have been the last one on the rotor. I don't think I've ever actually been reprinted before. It's really fracking unpleasant. I don't feel entirely me. I'm hoping that fades. Okay, what the F is going on? With no recent memories, I'm totally at a loss as to what's happened. Asteroid impact? Critical drive failure? Radar attack? I can't hear any plasma fire. In fact, I can't hear anything at all. So whatever occurred, it's not ongoing. No recent backup means it happened fast, whatever it was. Short-term memory. I've got nothing. Long-term memory. Patchy. I can barely remember my own name right now. I'm hoping my memories will gradually return. I should see what state the rest of the ship is in and if anyone else is still alive. Ahead of me is the main door that leads to the ship's central corridor. Well, let's not open doors without being careful. Let's peer through the window. I drift over to the door and peer through the window. I can see the dimly lit corridor beyond. Something floats past my view. It looks like a wrench, so I'm guessing gravity is out across the whole ship. Let's go back to the room. I'm in the ship's fabricator room. There are a bunch of loose items floating around, but none of them look particularly useful. Just ship stuff. Taking up much of one wall is the full-body fabricator, the one I was... Well, I'm not planning to do that again. Attached to the fabricator is the recycler, and next to that is the terminal. On the far wall, there's a large storage unit. Ahead of me is the door to the main corridor. Right, so if we try and use the recycler, let's have a look. The recycler unit is part of the fabricator system. You can just dump any old thing in there and break it down into basic resources. Nothing gets wasted around here. I'm not carrying anything at the moment, so I don't have anything to recycle. Let's try the fabricator. The fabricator is a large, sturdy unit capable of printing out a huge variety of items, from provisions to tools and, well, me it would seem. It needs to have schematics for anything you want to print, but a few come pre-installed. Current resources. We have a lot of biomass, we have some metal, we have some water, we have some minerals, and we have 0 polymers. Available schematics. Click to fabricate. A wrench and a rehydration pack, so it's our water. Let's have a look at the terminal, that's the other thing. Hey Gale, what's the ship's status? My voice sounds weird in the silence of the ship. I get no reply. I guess we have to do this the old-fashioned way. I tap a key on the terminal. I had almost forgotten that keyboards were still a thing. It brings up some basic options. Fabrication terminal. Welcome comms Officer Wilson. Please select an option. Let's have a look at the ship status. Ship status. Gravity wells offline. Hull integrity warning. Engines. Nacelle A OK. Nacelle B offline. So 2 nacelles, kind of like a Star Trek ship, I guess. Cruise status. Captain Olsen. Status unknown. Engineer Yoshida. Status unknown. Comms Officer Wilson. Emergency reprint. Security Officer Ananya. Status unknown. And then you have 4 crew on the ship. Alright, room status. Fabricator room. Terminal online. Fabricator online. Recycler online. Gale disconnected. Storage unit. Ooh, unlock the storage unit. Storage unit is unlocked. Resources. Recycler level 1 of 3 at 75% efficiency. Fabricator level 1 of 3. Use level 1 schematics. Current resources that we saw already. There are enough resources for 1 more emergency body reprint. So we have 1 more life backup, I guess. Emergency protocol. Emergency protocol is in effect. All doors locked and sealed. Emergency backup reprint completed. Emergency protocol limited to 1 mind/body only. Backup data comms Officer Wilson. So that is us having been reprinted. Leave the terminal. Let's check the storage unit. I float over to the storage unit at the far side of the room. The storage door has popped open enough to let me peer inside. I can see something shiny in there. I think it's an EMU pressure suit. Annoyingly, the door is jammed and won't open any further. I give it a good heave, but it's tricky in microgravity. I'm going to need something to force it open. We don't have any items, so yeah, back to the room. Alright, let's try the fabricator. Let's make a wrench. Resources required 010,000. So we cannot make a wrench because we need metals, so we can't fabricate it. Not enough resources. So back to the room. Let's head over to the door. I don't want to open the door because I've played through this before and I know what happens, but it seems we don't have access to the detritus in the room as yet, so we're going to have to open the door. I tap the controls and the door quickly slides open. Before I even know what's happening, the air blasts out into the vacuum of the corridor and I'm dragged out with it, flailing helplessly, trying to grab on anything I can. My mind is screaming in panic. It's wasting time thinking about what explosive decompression does to a human body. As the oxygen is ripped from my lungs, I just have enough time to scream, "Oh shit!" They say that your entire life flashes before your eyes, just before you die, then nothing. Well, imagine that, but in reverse. One moment. Hang on. Haven't we done this before? Welcome back, Comms Officer Wilson. Right. I've been reprinted. Again. I tap the control panel. The glass slides open and I tumble back out into the fabricator room, feeling even more icky than last time. Icky is not a technical term, but it really describes how I'm feeling right now. I think I just died. I'll worry about that later. Right now I need to focus. Printing a human body takes a lot of resources. I'm lucky there was enough for that last reprint. I can't afford to make that mistake again. So we are out of updates, fresh lives, unless we connect to a lot of resources, of course. Fortunately, the door into the corridor has resealed itself and the room has repressurized. At least there's still some O2 reserves left. That means there's been a hull breach, probably in the corridor itself. My problem is that the corridor is the only way to get around, so I'm going to have to get in there somehow. I should probably check out the stuff floating around and see if anything can help. So let's peer through the window. I float over to the door and peer through the window. I can see the dimly lit corridor beyond. Something drifts past the window. Oh Christ, that's my body. I have a sudden need to throw up, but my stomach has been printed empty, so I dry heave. No one should have to see their own dead body gently passing by. I've always wondered if that would upset me that much. Is it viscerally shocking to see your own dead body if you've been like reprinted or something like that? I don't know. I don't really want to try the experience, but it would be very, very interesting. Alright, I'm not going to open the door. That would kill us again, I imagine, and we would end the game there. So let us go back into the room. I am in the ship's fabricator room. There are a few useless items floating around. Taking up much of one wall, there's the full body fabricator. There's also a terminal and the recycler. The door to the storage unit is open, but only slightly. It appears to have been damaged. Your inventory is now shown on the side panel. So let us pick up all of these things, various items to pick up, and we can have a look at what we're carrying. A pot plant can of soda that's empty, a metal tray, and a plastic beaker. It must have gotten blown in or stirred around when we opened the door. Now we can use the recycler, and we can recycle. Okay, so we've obviously used a lot of biomass, and I think a lot of water to rebuild ourselves. So we can recycle these items. So pot plant, we recycle. So we've got a lot more biomass, well not a lot more, but a chunk more biomass and some more water. Can of soda, recycle that, give us some metals, and I think some polymer. Metal tray, a bit more metal, some polymers, and a plastic beaker. Great, a whole bunch of polymers that gave us. Okay, and now we can use the fabricator, and what we can do is we can make a wrench. 010,000, fabricate. Alright, so we have been add a wrench, so let's go to the storage unit, and we can use a wrench on the jammed door. I jam the wrench into the gap and pry the metal door open. It creaks a little, then pops free. Inside I find an EMU. That's an extravehicular mobility unit, or a spacesuit as the plebs call it. There's a bulbous looking helmet hanging above it. The suit is a one-size-fits-all number, and matte silver is definitely my color. It's quite interesting. It's a very sci-fi thing to say, because the actual spacesuits that astronauts currently use in our real life are very, very tailored. They're very specifically designed to be as form-fitting as possible, to the point that if astronauts gain or lose weight just before, in the sort of the last few weeks before they head off on a mission, it's a problem, because the suits just won't fit anymore. So they have to be very careful about their nutrition and their exercise and all of that to maintain their current body form, so that they don't start causing issues with the fit of their very, very specifically tailored suits. Yeah, I found that interesting. I also found a half-eaten burger in there. Despite my hunger, it makes me feel a little sick just looking at it. I guess I can still recycle it, and once I put the suit on, I'll be limited to rehydration and ration packs anyway. I spotted a data chip token in there too. I can use that at the terminal to add a new fabricator schematic. So let's grab the burger and grab the data chip, and we can put on the EMU. I clumsily climb into the EMU. It takes me a good 5 or 6 minutes. Look, the stuff is harder than you think in microgravity. I eventually slip it on, and it shrinks to fit like a second skin. Okay, so this is an auto-fitting spacesuit. I guess that's where our current engineers would like to take the current spacesuits. I suppose, and other clothes as well. Imagine you just buy one shirt, as long as you like the design and the looks of it. You don't have to care about sizes and fittings and anything like that. It just goes zoop and fits your body properly. That would be incredible. Love that. I secure the helmet over my head, and the HUD flickers into view in front of the visor. My breathing sounds like there's a large gorilla standing right behind me, which is a little disconcerting. Still, I'm feeling a lot more secure now. Oxygen levels look good, but I'm quite hungry and really thirsty. I'll need to keep an eye on that, but at least I'm now ready to explore. I wonder, is anyone else still alive? New suit HUD information has been added to the side panel. Keep an eye on your oxygen, food, and water levels. We can see it here. Oxygen is fine. Food is quite low, and water is very low. So, let us go back to the recycler, and let us recycle the McDonald's burger. So now we have lots of biomass and some water. Let's go to the fabricator. Actually, let's go to the terminal and use the schematic token. I think we can only use level 1s. So let's add a level 1 schematic. I think let's add rations, because we kind of need that to eat, and we don't have a rations generator at the moment. Delicious and healthy serving of mac and fries, now with added vitamins, carbohydrates, and microplastics. Ration packs can be connected directly to an EMU, so you don't have to remove your helmet to eat. So yeah, let's add that, because we need food. So let's go back to the fabricator. So now we can make a rations pack as well, but I think a rehydration pack is our most vital need in the near future. Can we make a rations pack? 19, yes. 2, yes, yes, and yes. Alright, so we can make a food pack for when we need that as well. Alright. So that's fine. Search the room. We've collected everything here. Nothing else left in the storage unit. So let's open the door. I drift over to the door and peer through the window. The view is the same, but fortunately my recently deceased remains have floated out of sight. Frost has spread across the window like a warning, but it's okay. I'm wearing my EMU now. I'll be fine, I think. I really need to find out what happened. I guess I should check my cabin first. I should see if Gail is still operational too. She'll know what to do. So let's open the door. I pause for a moment. Even though I'm snug in my EMU, I still feel a bit nervous about opening that door. I can still remember how it felt to... Okay, let's not dwell. It's not healthy. I tap the control and the door swishes open. Just like last time, the air blasts out. This time I'm ready for it. I grab hold of the door frame and steady myself until the whooshing air stops. I try to slow my breathing from panic to everything's cool. I start humming a tune. I'm not sure why it popped into my head. I think my mother used to sing it to me when I was young. I can barely remember the words, but it doesn't matter. The tune helps to calm me down. Okay, it's time to explore. I emerge out into the upper end of the wide hexagonal connecting corridor that just extends down the full length of the ship. One of the main lights is on, but it's flickering like a distant star about to go nova. Tiny ice crystals slowly spin and glitter in the light. The rest of the lighting is out, so it's pretty creepy in here. Silhouetted objects are floating around, including my own body. I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing that. I do my very best to ignore it, but every time I think about it, I can't really process it. Towards the far end, the corridor looks in pretty bad shape. The ceiling is buckled and twisted, and there are fragments of the hull and other debris floating along the entire length. It looks like there's been a major hull breach. That would certainly explain the vacuum. There's no sign of life, but all the other doors are shut. There could still be survivors somewhere, but right now, that seems less likely. And we can explore the upper corridor, head further down to the lower corridor, search through the floating debris, and back to the fabrication room. And there's various items that we can pick up. There's the wrench that we've already created, but we can probably recycle that. Small hull fragments, data pads, etc., etc. And we can look at our dead body. I move over to my body. I can't bring myself to look at my own dead face. That expression, was that really me? Was that the original me? Human reprinting was pioneered decades ago, but it wasn't long before it was banned for 100 different reasons, and not just the ethical ones. It's now relegated to extreme emergencies. There's only space for one backup, and a single reprint is allowed at any one time. I guess I'm it. I guess I got lucky. I have a momentary morbid thought. Could I recycle my own body? That might solve the lack of resources, but I don't think I could bring myself to do it. And besides, I don't think the recycler can process objects that large, not until it's fully upgraded anyway. Even then, I still don't think I could recycle my own body. I think I could. And I'm going to stop there. I think you can see where the gameplay goes. I think you can see what the basic mechanics are. And I believe there are some interesting twists at the end of the tale and all of that kind of stuff. So we have interesting stuff to look forward to in this game. I do suggest you come and play it. The link will be in the description. I am a big fan of interactive fiction. I think it is a very, very powerful part of, sort of sub-community in the gameplay community. And I think this is one of the more impressive additions to that sub-community. So if you're into interactive fiction at all, I do recommend this. If you are interested in interactive fiction at all, I likewise do recommend this as a worthy entrant into the realm. There is a lot more to do here than just read and make the occasional choice. So, I love this resource management thing and the recycler and all of that kind of stuff. I think it is brilliant. So come and give this game a gameplay. And I don't know if there's much critique. We'll think about that in a moment. But first of all, if you're watching the gameplay and you're heading out now, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like if you like this video, or dislike if you dislike the video. Not if you dislike the game. Go talk to the developer about that on the itch.io page. I'm not taking credit for the game, just for the video. So if you liked it, disliked it, hit those like and dislike buttons, and yeah, leave a comment telling me why you liked it or disliked it. I think that's quite an important step, because that's the only way that I will improve in my videos. Maybe not the only way, but it is the most effective way for me to improve on the videos that I'm making. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more videos about indie games. Not just interactive fiction. I do every kind of game I can find. But today is just interactive fiction day, I guess. So yeah, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you are here for the critiques, however, well, the UI is pretty much the Twine UI. Did I say Twitch earlier? I hope I didn't say Twitch earlier. It's the Twine engine. I sometimes say Twitch when I don't know. I mean Twine. It's built-in habits, I guess. I'd love to go and stream on Twitch. Maybe I will do at some point in the future. I need a bit more equipment for that first. It's Twine engine. So this is the Twine engine used in very effective ways. So it comes with the UI elements and things like that you can build into it, and some good music, which not a lot of Twine games have. So bravo, developer, in using the music. Take a look at the settings. The sound is actually quite loud. I hope it's... were there sound effects? Anyway, we've turned the music off, which was not my intention, but we might as well leave it off for the last little bit of the video. Yeah, the sounds that we were talking about, yeah, the music is really interesting. It's very effective. I mean, it could be a little bit more restrained, a little bit more pulled back. I don't know. I found it fine. I would have liked a volume control where we could turn it down a bit. I don't know if Twine allows that level of interactivity. It would be an interesting question to ask. The art, well, there isn't really any art other than the basic game imagery. Some art could be added, but I mean, for something like this, you're looking at sort of AI art and all of that kind of thing. I don't know. Is there any credits underneath things? Were there credits in the menu? Ah, yes, there we go, credits. This game was not made with the help of any AI, so that's quite a powerful statement. I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Artwork is difficult for a game like this, so would it be necessary? I mean, I think the UI design and sort of the aesthetics of the game are fine. I don't know. Artwork would be a serious consideration, but it would be difficult to do to be cost effective. The developer, I think, would lose a lot of money if he tried to get an artist to make the art for the game, and we don't want to encourage the use of AI. Well, this is where the AI is very effective, where you simply cannot get human-made art, and you need to consider AI as a source. But I don't know. Is just not having art a better answer to that? I think a lot of people would say yes. Anyway, well done, Ben Jackson, for the music. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, bravo. The Hayden Quartet is some of the music. Interesting credits. I think the music was good, so bravo, people who made it. And then we're through to the gameplay, and like I've already said, the reason I jumped onto this game and decided to showcase it is that the gameplay is very, very effective for an interactive fiction game. I think there's just enough elements to make it more interactive than fiction, while still telling a very, very well written, very good story. The writing is quite excellent, and I noticed that in the previous game as well that we've already covered, Lumium, whatever it was called. The writing there was so incredibly good. That's why I showcased that game, and that's why this one appeared on my feed. So yeah, this is an excellent writer, and I wish we had writing of this level in many other games. So yes, bravo for that. And I feel very, very immersed. I feel we know about the character. I feel the cold start with the amnesia character has been effectively employed here to keep us immersed without exposing too much information. I would like a few more sort of lore items scattered around where we could find out about the ship and the mission it's on and that kind of stuff. Maybe that will present itself in the near future. If it doesn't, I do recommend the dev adds that kind of thing. Give us items that provide more context as to what the ship is doing and what's going on, and stuff that shows life that we could look at. Sort of like postcards and books and things that we can recycle, but that sort of talks about life that ourselves and the other people on the ship have demonstrated, have expressed, as it were. And really, that's it. That's all I have to talk about in terms of critique. So I hope that that was an interesting experience for you. I hope it has made you decide to want to come and play the game, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.